And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. We're bringing back the debates. We've got an explosive row erupting on live television, and actually it's a Labour MP at the centre of it. Of course, a lot of the main topic of discussion, of course, has been these illegal migrants staying in these asylum hotels, and of course the backlash that has erupted since then. And because we're on recess, we haven't really heard Labour MPs speak about their decisions and all of these kind of things. So yeah, we're going to be listening to one today, and just a quick heads up, he gets absolutely destroyed. As always, guys, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more British content. Let's have a little watch of this.
But I will say that you should never condemn a whole group of people because of the actions of one of them. People who come here have to live by our laws. That's absolutely right. What is not right, what is not right is to say that because some migrants commit crimes, all migrants are criminals.
Yeah, but it's not,
they're not, and responsible politicians have to make that clear.
Every single person who has come across the channel on a small boat has already committed a crime. They came here illegally.
Okay, two points. 50% of the refugees in this country did not come across the channel in a small boat. So actually more than 50%. Those who did are not criminalised in international law. It is only the previous government that said that the mode of transport made you a criminal.
It doesn't. We made it illegal, and Labour have made it legal again. So Labour have scrapped that. It is now not an offence.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I don't care where the people come from, right? I don't care almost if they're migrants or not. I don't know anyone that would want to walk home next to a place housing a load of undocumented men.
Yeah, fine.
Sorry.
So, Christo, what are you going to do? The consequence, and this audience said it earlier on this evening, the consequence is that you say, right, kick them out of the hotel. Where are they then going to go? They're going to go to an hotel. Right, you said that they're going to go back home. Reform tried that this week. 600,000 we're going to send back. And so, who are you going to pay? They were going to pay the Taliban to send women and children back to Afghanistan.
Sometimes, Barry, we have to have conversations with different regimes that we don't like.
And Germany are
Secondly,
and who are you going to negotiate with in Iran?
Well, I mean, we could get to that. I'm sorry. Well, you have to have conversations with regimes.
So you want to close down the hotel first and have the conversation with the Ayatollahs later?
I want to stop the pull factors from people coming here in the first place.
For what it's worth, the Labour government promised to proscribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. The reason it hasn't done so is because actually it's found that having diplomatic relations with the Iranian regime is actually quite useful for our national security. It's the reason we still have an embassy open in Tehran. So Barry's now claiming we can't touch the Iranian.
That's a massive problem when you've got these people in here. That's, these people are in power, by the way. This guy's a Labour MP. This is their sort of fort. You know, they're kind of unanimous on everything that they speak about in loads of different decisions. So they're probably unanimous and have his opinion. And when he said there at the moment, they said, what do you want to do? Close the hotels down and have the conversations later? Yeah, I do actually, to be perfectly honest with you. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comment section below. In other news, presenter Patrick Christys has voiced serious concerns about Britain's future after the Court of Appeal overturned a decision that would have prevented asylum seekers from staying at an Essex hotel. Patrick described Friday's ruling as a complete disaster for the government, expressing alarm about the current state of the nation. I worry for our country today, Patrick said to the media, highlighting what he sees as dangerously elevated tensions across society. The ruling reversed an earlier High Court injunction that would have required 138 asylum seekers to leave the Bell Hotel in Epping by September 12. 3 senior appeal judges determined that the initial decision contained errors, with Lord Justice Bean noting that closing one facility would simply require finding alternative accommodation elsewhere in the system. The Home Office successfully challenged the original ruling, with government lawyers arguing that the European Convention on Human Rights took precedence over local residents' objections. The appeal court's decision means Somani hotels can continue accommodating asylum seekers at their Epping property, preventing what Labour Minister Stephen Kinnock had warned could result in migrants becoming destitute on the streets through a disorderly discharge. Lord Justice Bean, alongside Lady Justice Nicola Davies and Lord Justice Cobb, delivered their verdict on Friday afternoon following an urgent hearing the previous day. The judges found flaws in Mr. Justice Eyre's original injunction, with Lord Justice Bean stating that the initial ruling failed to consider how shutting one location would necessitate finding alternative sites within the asylum accommodation system. Patrick argued that the government had permitted the ECHR to be wielded essentially against the people of Epping, some would say against the people of Britain. He expressed unease about judicial comments suggesting that public demonstrations should not be perceived as influencing legal decisions. "I worry we are in a situation where tensions are so high, it could at least be seen the government is willing to go against the will of the people," the presenter stated. His concerns centered on what he characterized as a conflict over whose rights should take priority in such cases. The host warned that the ruling could exacerbate already heightened tensions across the country, suggesting the government faces significant challenges ahead. Patrick referenced comments from Tory MP Esther McVeigh, who suggested that whilst it might not be factually accurate, there exists a perception of left-wing establishment stitch up. The broadcaster emphasized that this perception itself represents a concerning place to be for the country. He predicted the ruling would provoke very strong reactions from both sides, describing Friday as a remarkable day in British politics. "It's important to say it's not over," Patrick noted, suggesting the controversy surrounding asylum accommodation would continue to generate significant debate. The Court of Appeal's decision prevents other councils from following Epping's example in seeking injunctions against asylum hotels in their areas, establishing a precedent that government lawyers successfully argued protects asylum seekers' rights under the ECHR. The ruling marks a significant moment in the ongoing battle over asylum accommodation in Britain, setting a clear legal precedent that strengthens the government's position under the ECHR while limiting the scope for local authorities to block migrant housing. Yet, as Patrick Christie's and others have warned, the decision risks deepening divisions across the country, with public frustration and political tensions unlikely to subside anytime soon. What is certain is that the debate over asylum hotels is far from finished, and the government will remain under pressure to balance legal obligations with growing demands from local communities. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.